welcome to another episode of Sea Change Cinema. Episode 7, in fact, of Sea Change Cinema. So that is pretty cool if you ask me. That means 7 weeks of me, the self-confessed flipperty gibbet, actually planning what I'm going to say, writing out a few notes, setting it all up, speaking into the camera, and then sending it out to you, lovely people on my sailing list. So I think that might be one of the most consistent things I've done in a long time. And I'm going to celebrate that fact. And it leads me nicely on to today's topic, which is accountability, consistency, and staying focused. How are you with all of that stuff? I mean, whenever I write an episode of Sea Change Cinema, I always imagine that I'm talking to someone who's got exactly the same problems that I do, or not always problems, but challenges and issues. And I really do wonder if I am all alone in being a little bit of a productivity sinkhole. It's not the very glamorous way to describe it, but that's how it feels sometimes. So I wondered if there was something around about productivity that I could talk about today. Now, it's a bit of a joke, me talking to anyone and advising anyone about being productive, when you'll see some photos on Instagram later of this lovely office that I'm sitting in, and the reality of what's going on there and there and there. But look, this little corner's nice. So anyway, I'm just going to assume that you sometimes have issues around productivity and around staying focused and just basically keeping the heat and getting on with your work. So one of the things that I've been speaking to my clients about this week is actually accountability. And I think we all share this as business owners, that we're great at holding our clients accountable because that's our job and they expect that from us and they need it from us and they're paying us for it. But when it comes to our own stuff, it can actually be like really problematic. And I'm someone who has been recently getting up at 5:30 in the morning to get on with the work that I could have done the day before if I hadn't been a flipperty gibbet, which is my new word of the week. Thanks to June for pointing that one out to me. So it all got me thinking around accountability and how I might be able to support you with the tasks that you've been struggling with this week or this month or this year. So I have spent a lot of time looking at productivity and how to become better and more focused in my day-to-day work. As my client Katie said to me yesterday, which I can totally resonate with, she will spend hours researching how to do something quick, what the easy option is. She'll spend more time researching what the secret sauce is than she will actually doing the task at hand, and I relate to that massively. So, of course, productivity is different for every person, but for me, I like to get from the beginning of the day to the end of the day and feeling like I've achieved the tasks that I really wanted to and needed to. So I have read books, I have been on courses, I've tried all different types of systems that I probably spent hours researching, and a few things have stuck. Now, I really find bullet journaling to be one of the most productive ways to actually keep control of what I'm doing, but it's still not perfect. I'm not that much of a systematic person. So what I've done is I've pulled out all of the bits from my courses that I've been on and from the books that I've read and the podcasts that I've listened to, and I've pulled together a little daily planner which has all of the important parts of my day ready to be filled out. And it covers things like, just a quick glance at next week so I can see what's happening. It's my schedule. And then it's got my number one tip in it, which is, as well as writing out your to-do list, write out your what I did list. Because whilst you might get to the end of the day and struggle with the idea that you haven't achieved all of the things that were on your list, if you've kept a what I did list, you'll see that you actually did loads. Some of it may impact your schedule for today. Some of it might actually save you some time for next week. So start looking at it from a kind of a bigger picture. But you can only do that if you have your what I did list. So if you like the sound of that, I was really keen to pull a lot of that together to share with you because, as you know, as a member of my sailing list, I like to add as much value into your inbox as possible. So I've created a little planner. It's free, it's a free PDF, and I've also got it on Word so that if you don't want to print it out, you can write on it in Word. And I'm going to include it in this week's Sea Change Cinema email. So have a look inside the email and you'll get all of the links for that. I really hope you download it or at least access it, and I hope you find it useful. Now, just finally, I'm going to finish up, but just finally, I thought, well, what about this accountability thing? Because for me, I've got a couple of things that go from my to-do list each day, ba-ding, 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 and then into the next week, and then into the next month. And some people would say, maybe you didn't really want to do that in the first place, or maybe you didn't need to do that in the first place, which is a valid point. But sometimes actually I would like to just get it done. If it's a good idea, I feel like it's, I should honour these good ideas by putting them into the world or doing something about it anyway. So it would be great if I had someone who actually got in touch with me a few days after and said, how are you getting on with this thing? What steps can you take to get it finished by the end of the week? And I happen to know so many people who would really love a little bit of accountability like that on a problem or a task or a challenge that has been getting put off and put off and put off. So here is this week's challenge. And I really hope you take me up on it because, I don't want to be like Abby Namates, okay? So if you've got a task that you're struggling with, but you do want to get it done, and you know when you want to get it done by, please email me. I'll put the details in this in the email as well. Please email me with the task, what you need to do, when you need to do it by, and when you would like me to email you to find out how you're getting on and to give you that accountability. How does that sound? And I'm obviously not going to charge for that because I really do believe in us creating a bit of a network here, and I have no mates at work and you have no mates at work because we're not allowed to be anywhere near other humans. So this is what the internet's all about as far as I'm concerned. So if you want some accountability for that bloody annoying task, email me and I will be the accountability person. In fact, oh my god, accountability Abby. No, it's too cheesy. Anyway, that's me today. That's Sea Change Cinema. It's great to be back in your inboxes. I hope that you enjoyed your episode of Sea Change Cinema last week where I had a good old chat with Holly Ellis. She was helping me get my head around why branding is so important and ways that I can actually DIY my own brand. So hopefully there's a few little tips in there that you can use to go forward with your own branding in terms of communicating and connecting with your customers and selling more stuff online. Okay, I'm going to stop doing this now and leave you to your Friday. This was episode 7 of the Sea Change Cinema. I really love diving into your inbox. I love the comments that you send me, and I really hope that you get in touch with me about your accountability task. Okay, have a lovely weekend when it comes. Enjoy the rest of Friday, and see you next week, where we'll be diving into another hot topic. See ya.